Hey guys, welcome back to another one of my kit videos. In this kit video we're going to have a look at my Heresy build. This should have been a build video or a build log or like a time-lapse kind of thing as I built it up, but unfortunately there were a few problems as I was getting the fitment right of some parts before that. I've had a good friend in the name of Badger help me out with doing that, so we are now back on track and this has had its first game. Absolutely phenomenal. So I'd like to take you through my full build and the full spec. So I'm going to move this to one side. We're going to go from kind of front to back of the gun, and then I will go into some of the internals as well. If you have any questions about the build or anything like that as we're going along, please do leave me a message in the comments section. I do read all the comments and I respond to as much as I can. So the actual base gun itself was a G&G Wild Hog. The gun itself I bought as a bit of a boneyard from Fat Badger himself. I had every intention of HPAing it. I do find the GMG CM16, the combat machine body's fantastic to HPA convert. So I had that in mind with it from the start, as you'll have seen in previous videos. I've now managed to put a G&G Firehawk front end on it. The original front end was probably about this long. It had that key mod rail, which was a little bit slimmer than this. No rail space as such. It was okay, but I just find that this one kind of suits the look of the gun that little bit better. Inside here, if I flip it over, flip it over, there we go. Let's just crack that open. There we go. You can see there. We have a ZCI rotary hop-up just hiding away in there. There is a ZCI inner barrel in there as well. That is a 128mm inner barrel. And we also have a PDI W-hold hop-up booking hiding away in there as well. That is with the standard nub, so there's no kind of special hop-up combo going on here. It's fairly standard, straightforward stuff. 70-degree PDI W-hold, because it doesn't need to hop. It's not a DMR, it doesn't need to go outdoors, it's not going to be shooting 50, 60 odd meters. It only needs to do, kind of 20 to 30 at most pretty well, so that's why we've gone with that. So up on top we do have a red dot, a little T1, which is totally flat mounted. Normally on M4 receivers you do need to put the high rise rail on this, but because we're missing this back end here, it means you can get it right down kind of in line with your face, so you don't need it to be up. It is low profile, and that's got a 3D printed scope protector on the front there. It's just like a little sleeve that fits over, and you put a piece of cut Lexan in there, so that's not going to get shot out. So moving back a bit, charging handle is the G&G one, but I have got an XT charging handle spring in here. The reason for that is the G&G ones do stretch really badly, I find, and the XT stuff is absolutely fantastic. Finishing that up as well, I also put XT grip screws in. Pretty much every AEG I've worked on apart from an Ares comes with 2 grip screws rather than 4. I just prefer 4, and for the £1.50 that they cost from AK to M4, it's a little ritual that I like to continue carrying out. So inside of here we have the standard G&G gearbox. I picked that because as you look at the G&G gearbox from the top, it has 2 adjustment bolts either side which you can kind of run in and out. I find the gearboxes obviously fit best in their own receivers as well, which is a massive thing for alignment and that kind of thing. I did say in the kind of the precursor to this going over that we did have some issues getting the engine to fit and work. The Kythera was an absolute pain to get working. The alignment was completely off. You can see I've got no floor pin in here because I think you can just about see the silver glint of the gearbox there. The gearbox does sit just a little bit off. I'm not sure why, whether it's just just a bad receiver from the off or anything like that. I don't really care too much if I'm honest, because it's all lined up perfectly now and it shoots fantastically, but that was one of the problems I had trying to get around the alignment and that kind of thing. So huge thanks to Badger for sorting me with that. So yes, we've got the Kythera in there. I've got a nice little piece of rubber sticky stuff there, just stopping that from rattling about, because that does my head in on these receivers. Standard mag release. Yes, I run it with my EPM1 and EPM1Ss just because I can. It's an indoor build, I love them. Again, low profile. The Kythera does have, I do have the charging wire, I was going to call it the charging handle, the charging spring wire. That does run down through the inside of the grip, and I've actually got the motor plate on here just to provide a bit of sturdiness here. I've not needed to actually do the charging ring thing yet. No doubt when I will, it's just 2 Allen key bolts to drop that out. And then we've got a high pressure airsoft braided IGL in there as well, just to add a bit of bling to my build. This originally was going to be a red line build, hence the red aluminium trigger you see there. That's a 5KU trigger. That I got from Asia Airsoft, so that's been on quite a journey to get here. And then bringing up the rear here, this amazing sintered nylon buttstock here. That I got from Badass Designs. They do G&G specific ones, which are like these ones, so you can just see there that they've got this kind of flat on this side, and then it kind of goes down and pulls round and under. They also do a more generic one, which is kind of just more an oval and straight down if you've got something like a Spetsner or you know, kind of any other brand. So that's kind of the build overview. Weight wise, it's not light. It's not as light as I'd preferred it to be. There's a lot of weight in this here. One of the disadvantages of running this is the weight in that. I think in time what I may end up doing, I may end up losing this front end completely and just run it with the kind of the outer barrel attached. Nothing too wrong with that, I don't think. Try and decide. I mean, when you've actually got it, you know, when you're holding it, shooting it, it's not the end of the world. You can, you know, you can really kind of maneuver it, and it is great because you can get right up. You know, you can get right up against that. I haven't got enough room on the desk here to get it around for you, but there's a lot of room to kind of get your face here, your eye line's kind of here, so, you know, kind of there like that. So you don't need to have this thing, you know, kind of arm's length with a big buttstock out or anything like this. It's great, it shoots fantastic. I've got a video coming out. In fact, the video will be out by the time this video comes out. So my previous video will be me shooting this at a recent trip over to Hell's Airsoft. So please do keep an eye out for that. And then I think that's just about everything which is in here. Metal suppressor from Skirm Shop, just a cheap one. Cost me a tenner. The brand is Metal, and I've filled it with some Brillo pad just to keep the noise down. Obviously, if I'm indoors, I'm going to be running a tracer, so I just kind of take this off. I've got a 1-inch extension because the inner barrel comes further than the outer barrel. Tracer on, absolutely fantastic. Pressure wise, not as low as I'd like it to be. I need to run 120 psi to get around about 335, 340 FPS. It is a very, very short barrel, so I know that's why it's doing that. I know if I drop like a 300mm barrel in, we'd be dropping down to like 80 psi kind of level, but I like the manoeuvrability of this. It sips there. The efficiency is very high on the Kythera anyway, so it's not the end of the world. And being as it is a CQB gun, it's not like I'm going to be running full auto all day anyway, because it is semi only. So ideal CQB gun for where I'm playing at the moment. Yeah, that's my Heresy build. There's a few of these popping up around me at the moment, local to me, and certainly at Hell's Airsoft. A few of the other guys are running very similar builds, so yes, it's verging on a paintball marker, but it's not quite there yet, lads, so please don't brand me as a paintballer yet. So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed my video, please do drop me a like, leave me a comment telling me if you enjoyed it, and absolute A-grade material would be dropping me a sub as always. Thank you very much if you followed me this far, and I will see you in my next video.